Hey everyone, Professor Michael Scanlon here. So today I want to talk to you about something called convection. And convection is a method of heat transfer that is incredibly important in pretty much everywhere. So I wanted to ask you a question. Did you know that you can drive water with just heat? I want to show you how that works. So, of course, don't try this at home. Well, you can't. You don't have a Bunsen burner, so that works out. I've got a tube here that's in this kind of rounded rectangle, and I'm going to put the flame over it. Although I'm going to turn the gas down just a bit. There we go. And, put it over the flame, and I'm going to drive some water. Isn't that awesome? Can't you see the water? No, of course you can't. Convection is hard to see. So we have to kind of be clever about how we do it. Now what's happening here is the water is actually going around this loop in this direction. I've got some food coloring here to help us visualize that. So I'm going to add a few drops of this food coloring, like so. And we'll see that indeed this is how it's going. Hey, what if I move the heat over here? Is the water still going to move the same way? At first you want to say yeah, but notice it backs up and starts going the other way. Well, what if I move it back over here? Well, what's it going to do now? It reverses direction again. This is a process known as convection. Now that's something I want you to look up because, like I said, it's everywhere. This helps us cook. This is a process, convection, that moves the continents. You can find it everywhere. So how could you do something like this at home whenever you don't have a Bunsen burner or a specialized piece of equipment like this tube? I want to show you exactly how you could do this in a safer way. It's still going to involve fire, so again, as with everything, adult supervision is required. Let me show you how I would set it up. Now, don't tell anybody, but I can't find my glass baking dish, or my wife's glass baking dish for that matter. So I'm going to pretend that this is glass. Okay, don't do this with plastic. It does involve an open flame. So what you're going to do is get like a glass baking dish. The shape doesn't matter, but they're typically rectangular. Okay, and we're going to pretend this is one, and you're going to fill it about halfway with vegetable oil. Now if you don't want to waste vegetable oil on something like this, that's perfectly fine. Water will work, it just won't work as well. Okay, it's much easier to see it in oil. And so you're going to fill it about halfway with vegetable oil and prop it up some kind of way. Now I'm using beakers, but you could use glasses or whatever. Usually these things have these glass dishes have handles. You could put a glass under each handle and that would kind of stabilize it. That's kind of what you're looking for, just something to prop it up. Then, here comes the fire. So, we have to use our imagination here. We have a glass baking dish. It's about halfway filled with oil. And we're going to take a small candle. Okay? No, you don't want the dish right on the candle. It doesn't have to be dramatic. Just something that's going to provide a little heat. Excuse me. Now, here's the trick. Take some seasoning. Tony Chachere's, black pepper, whatever you happen to have that's visible, right? You can even use cayenne pepper, whatever that's actually visible in the oil, and sprinkle it fairly evenly across the surface. You don't have to coat it, but just make sure you can see it everywhere. And then you're going to light the candle. Place it somewhere underneath the dish. What you're going to notice is eventually, whereas what you sprinkled was pretty evenly distributed, you're going to notice it starting to move away. What you're seeing is convection at work. The fluid, in this case oil, is moving away from the heat and outwards. And eventually you actually see that pepper, that whatever you happen to have in there, cycle back down, and hopefully, if you're lucky, you can see it come back up this way. Okay? In what we call a convection current or a convection cycle. move the candle around. Now, I don't have much room here because I'm using a pretend setup, but if you've got, the glass is here, you've got a whole baking dish, you can move it around and see that where you put the candle is going to kind of drive where the convection is. Heat is important in convection. In fact, that's what convection is. It's a transport of heat through moving material, through moving fluid. So try it at home. Let me know how it works out. And make a comment on the post saying how you liked it. Take a picture, take a video. We'd love to see it. Oh, by the way, that reminds me, don't forget, show us your crystals that you grew. And you can see the crystal that I made, the N, on NSU's page on Facebook. And so anyway, let us know how this worked out and see if you find anything interesting out about convection while you're researching this, while you're looking it up and learning about it. Stay safe, everyone. I hope you enjoyed today's lesson.